Hi everyone, it's Friday the 25th of January. I'm doing a little intro because I'm going to try to do things a little bit different for the sit and talks, my rambles that I do. So I'm going to do a little intro, show you what I've got on my desk, and then I'm going to get stuck into the painting. So yeah, I'm going to turn the camera around and show you how my desk looks. Right, so it's a bit of a mess, excuse my remote controls, don't want them there. So my desk is a bit of a mess at the moment. The plan is to finish these models off that I've got on my desk and then have a bit of a sort out. As you can see, I've got bits and pieces of loads of models. This Rhino, his armour's finished. I've got to finish his details on that. That's the Lord of Skulls tracks. I've got the Annihilation Barge for my Necrons and the second one. They're out there at the moment because I've got my Necron armies packed into a case and for an Apocalypse game, and basically they don't fit anywhere, so they're just out at the moment. They'll get put away eventually. We've got all the World Eater Terminators that I haven't got round to do anything with. It's a little bit too cold to actually spray paint models, so they're all just sitting on my desk. Obviously my paints and my methylated spirits and my super glue. My paint rack, which yeah, I haven't done one of these where I've actually sat and looked at my desk for a while, so you'll notice that the bits box, the bits rack has gone. It's actually under my desk now. I just found it was cluttering up too much. Not that this is any better, but there's a load of skeletons that I'm giving to a friend. It's the Death Guard guy, which I'm just gonna pack away somewhere eventually. That's the Blood Angel Chaplain that I finished the other day. Very nice. My dragons, the gifts people have given me over the years. I've got the one Death Guard guy that I haven't started, and the champion. That's the Blighthauler's base. He's easier to paint when not on the base. I've got a load of Space Marine jump packs, which I've still got to put with my Assault Marines. I'll get to them eventually. I've got loads of spare Assault Marines. I've got bits of terrain down here. I found these tank traps, so I'm going to actually spray paint them eventually and get them painted. They'll be fairly easy to do. Just rust them up a little bit. Got my normal cloth. Camera's blurry. Come on, zoom, focus. That's better. So my normal cloth. Most people don't bother with a cloth because they have a paper palette, but I do. I keep my palette fairly clean, although I've noticed it needs a proper wash. I've got, as you can see, my underneath that book box there, there's a load of spare paints in it, and underneath is all my paint handle things, all my Blood Angels that I'm working on, my last 9 for my battle company. I've been working on them mostly over the week, and these are the 2 Death Guard guys that I've been working on just of late. So the Blighthauler and the something else, I still don't know their names. I'll get to them at some point. When I start playing, that's probably when I'll get to learn the names more. So yeah, so it is, like I said, the desk is a bit of a mess. The camera doesn't want to zoom. But the plan is to get these Blood Angels painted, to get these 2 Death Guard guys painted, and then to have a clean up, because I need to. The skeletons are going next week, be replaced by Space Wolves, which I'm stripping for a friend. But yeah, that's my desk as it stands. A bit of a mess, but it should get better in the next week or so. These Blood Angels, I plan to have them completed hopefully by the end of the weekend. I mean, it's Friday now, it's Friday lunchtime. I'm going to do some painting on them today, but we've got football on tonight, so it won't be a hell of a lot. And these Death Guard I should have finished before I go away next weekend to the Heresy Weekender, but we'll see. So I'm going to now put my camera on my stand and get painting. Right, so I've got the Death Guard put up there. I really want to work on these Blood Angels today. I want to get them finished because, like I said, this is the last of my battle company, and I've been working on this battle company for so long, so now that the end's in sight, I kind of really want to get them done. I'm a bit worried that I'm short on some paints. I may have replacements, I'll have to check at some point. I'm pretty sure I've got enough lead belcher for now. So this is what we're going to start with. I'm going to paint all the silver parts. So these are going to be like gun handles, the little targeters on the sides of their heads, tubes on the guard, the mouth guard in front of on the front of the helmet, that kind of stuff. I normally paint for about an hour. That's what I'm going to aim for. And then I'm going to do, someone said to me about they quite like the little, when I'm on camera, which I find a bit weird, but anyway. So I'm going to be trying to do that a little bit more. I'm going to leave that heavy bolter guy till last, because he's got some big bits I've got to paint silver. Alright, so off we go. So yeah, so it's been a frustrating week, shall we say. Had a good time at the club on Monday. Played a fairly big game of 40k against a friend who is going to be on my team, luckily, during the Apocalypse game that we're playing middle of February. Thankfully he's on my team, because I don't want to play against that army again. It was a bit horrible. Not that I still won the game, but it was it was a challenge, shall we say. And the reason why I actually won was the fact that I was still killing his stuff. He bought basically like a load of super heavy tanks and very little bit of troops, and I just kept going after his tanks. Just had to destroy his tanks, and I did eventually kill all but one. He did have a rather expensive big flyer, which I really wish I'd taken a photo of, but I didn't. But at the Apocalypse game I will. I will do my best to take photos at the Apocalypse game. So they'll go up on Facebook and Instagram. I'll try and do a little thing for YouTube. I'll try and record some of the game, but it's not very likely. I tend to get, once I get engrossed in the Apocalypse game, in a game of Apocalypse, I kind of lose track of where I am. I forget to take photos and that kind of thing. So no promises. I can't promise anything when it comes to Apocalypse. I just get engrossed in the game, because most of the time they're really good games. So we'll see. But yeah, it's I won purely because I was getting kill points for killing his super heavy tanks, and he wasn't getting kill points for killing my units, so he had to wipe my army out, and he killed everything except for my core of Necron warriors. It was only the last turn that he actually killed my Overlord, which holds the army together. But even then the warriors didn't run, so quite happy with how it turned out. Just wish that when I was playing tournament games that my army was that tough, but anyway, that's okay. There's not a hell of a lot on these Blood Angels that is silver. I mean, I've painted the guns mostly. I paint Space Marines. Different to how I paint almost every other model in my collection is that they're not fully stuck together. So as you can see from this guy, he's got no weapon, he's got no backpack. It's purely so I can reach all the areas I want to reach. Like, if, for example, if I say this guy, if his bolter was there, I wouldn't be able to paint the chest eagle. So I wait till it's fully painted, then I glue it together. It's the way I've always painted Space Marines. It's going to have to change, because the newer Blood Angel models, I mean these are quite old models now, these ones. The newer ones, the bolters are attached to the arms, so it's not as easy to do that, but for this battle company that's what I've done. So yeah, and like I said, these are the last 9 I've got to paint. So I've got 100 and whatever Space Marines fully painted, and it's been a long time coming. I bought these models, I want to say 15 years ago. It's probably not far off, and I've stumbled through getting them painted, and I'm just glad they're nearly there now. I can start working on my other battle company then. But I've got a feeling the other battle company wouldn't take me as long to paint. I've found a much quicker way to paint Blood Angels, and I'm quite in the mood for painting them, but I'm not going to be painting 40k Blood Angels for a little while after I've finished these guys, because I'm going to be painting 30k Blood Angels. So yeah, on Monday they announced some of the models that are coming for the Horus Heresy Open Day, and they've announced the Blood Angel Terminators. Now I can't remember the name of them. They've got a fancy name. I will remember it eventually, but they are such nice models. I'm quite likely to be buying 2 sets of them at the Heresy Open Day. Heresy Weekend, sorry. Making a squad of 10. We'll see. I mean, for Horus Heresy, I've got quite a lot of Blood Angels already. I want to buy some Mark III shoulder pads so I can build the Mark III Marines I've got from Burning and Prospero as Blood Angels. I might buy full upgrade sets for them, so you got the bodies as well, but I don't know yet. All my Mark IV Blood Angels that I've built have got Blood Angel shoulder pads, because I used Mark VII shoulder pads. These guys are Mark VII armour. I used their shoulder pads. Let's pan that camera up a little bit, it's a bit low. That's better. So yeah, and they've got a lot of my Mark IV Blood Angels are quite detailed. They've got ammo holsters and grenades and knives and stuff like that on them. So they actually look more detailed than a standard Mark IV Space Marine, than my World Eaters, for example. They've got Blood Angel knives on them and stuff like that. So yeah, just making sure I'm hitting all the silver on these. Don't want to do what I usually do and get near the end and find a bit I've missed. I'm also trying to listen out for the door, because I'm the only one in at the moment, and I should be getting my latest delivery of 40k Conquest in the next day or two. So it could turn up today, but who knows. They don't provide tracking or anything on the delivery, so it's just a case of waiting for it. But I know it's been dispatched because they've taken the payment out, so yeah. Right, so that's them 8 done. So what I've got left to do for the silver is the heavy bolter guy, who's got more silver, and then the backpacks. So I'm switching to a bigger brush, which I'll have to switch back to a smaller brush at some point, because he's still got small parts on him as well that I need to hit. But for now, the bigger brush will do, because as you'll be able to see, his ammo feed all needs painting silver, as does a lot of his heavy bolter. So I mean, next week I've not actually got to carry models with me, which is quite a novelty. I'm playing a game that I basically brought me into the hobby as a kid, which is called Space Crusade, and the guy that I'm playing the game with, hopefully there'll be a few others who will jump in, is supplying everything. He's got it all fully painted, so I don't have to carry models. We're carrying some models because I've got trade these, give a friend these skeletons, and I'm stripping some space wolves for him, so I need something to carry them, so that's fine. So yeah, it's gonna be a fairly easy week. I don't really have to pack anything into a gaming case. My Necron army, although I'm modifying it a little bit because certain parts of my army were terrible, they do nothing. It's my whole Necron force that I used for the Apocalypse game, the big game of 40k on Monday, is in 2 cases. They're big old Games Workshop monster cases, so they are big cases. And like I said, I'm probably going to drop the monolith. The monolith is a big gun magnet, and it doesn't really do much, so I'm going to probably drop that and drop the bomber. The bomber was terrible. Done 2 mortal wounds on Lord of Skulls and did pretty much nothing else. So I'm going to drop that, and I'm going to take 3 Doom Scythes instead. Much more destructive. So yeah. The thing is, people will know the Doom Scythes are more destructive than most other things, so I'm not expecting them to survive very long, but as long as they get to do their thing for a turn or 2, I'll be happy. Mind you, I haven't used Doom Scythes in 40k since other large scale Apocalypse games, so I'll have to practice up on how they actually work. Right, so the bolter feed is done, the ammo feed, sorry. I'm just trying to hit all the other parts of the heavy bolter. So there's some things I haven't talked about for a while. As some of you will know, I started these videos off as a way to fight my depression and anxiety that I was diagnosed with over a year ago now. As much as I will say I think I'm doing fairly well, there's things creeping back in. I mean, I know I shouldn't let people get to me, but they do. And I try my best to shut them out and just get on with things, but it's difficult when it's certain people that are kind of important. It's difficult to shut them out and carry on with things, you know. So yeah, so it's been a hard couple of month. I don't know if I've said this before, but my nan has terminal cancer. I've said this to some friends of mine know this. My nan was diagnosed with dementia a couple of years ago now, and it's gradually got worse, to the point now where, like, she doesn't recognise people sometimes, and she might forget what you said 5 minutes ago, that kind of thing. But she had a stroke on just at the start of December, and she had a fall at the same time, and it's been, everything seems to have gone downhill since then. She was in a hospital all over Christmas, and we found out the day that my dad got his all clear for his cancer, which is over 2 years ago now. He had his operation. The day he got his all clear, we found out my nan has stomach cancer and pancreas cancer, I think. And they said it's not operable, it's terminal, so yeah, it's just a case of we've got to wait now and see how things happen. I mean, she's now in a home, and the home is, to be fair, the home has been an absolute dick. They are losing her clothes on a regular basis. They were supposed to have a dietitian come round and see her in the first couple of weeks she was there, because she's not really eating, she's not drinking enough, and she's been in there coming up to 4 weeks now, and dietitian's nowhere to be seen. We keep getting fobbed off saying the dietitian's off sick. And it's just all a bit. I mean, the pressure mostly is on my mum and dad, and they've been awesome. They've been, like, unbelievable, especially my dad. I mean, I don't talk about my dad a lot. Our family don't really talk about feelings. We don't do hugs normally, like me and my dad, but he's been like everyone's rock, and like he's not in the best of minds himself, you know. So that's his mum. And yeah, it's a tough time. I mean, I know when my dad was diagnosed with cancer a couple of years ago, I dealt with it in probably the wrong way. I was there for everyone that I could be, and I dealt with it by painting a lot, locking myself in my room, and just painting. And probably not the best thing to do. Sometimes you need to be with family and stuff. But it got me through it. And I mean, we know my nan's terminal. She's been given, I mean, middle of December she was given 6 months at the most. So it's hard that we know that that's coming. We don't know when. But now some of this, like, I'm pretty sure my family won't want me talking about some of this, but do you know what? It needs to be talked about. Like, it shouldn't just be bottled up and buried under the carpet, you know what I mean? And I'm not saying we're doing that. I'm not saying we're doing that at all. We're all talking and stuff. We're all in communication, more or less. There's been family arguments and stuff as well, but I'm not going into that. But it's just been a bit of a hard time. And I know I haven't gone into depth in it with it before. I was trying to convert these sit and paints into a positive thing, and not to have me sitting and whinging about things. But I feel I needed to get it off my chest. And I don't want to dwell on things, you know. But yeah, but I'm trying to look forward, trying to give myself things to look forward to. I mean, it sounds silly, I know. I'm even kind of looking forward to going back to start working again. I mean, I know I've got a lot of painting done while I've been off work, which is great. Don't get me wrong, I love sitting and painting most of the time. Just I need to get myself in the position again. Well, I'm not hard up, like I said. I've said before, I'm not in a difficult position money wise. But I want to be able to get myself in a position where if I decided to learn to drive, for example, which I really should do, because it was my pledge to start it year before last, never happened. Got my provisional license, but never really got stuck into the driving. Where was I going? I need to set myself targets again. I stopped doing that, and I need to start doing targets. I mean, I've got it with my painting, but I need other targets. So, setting myself a target to start driving and stuff is awesome. Got to look into that, but I want to get myself. I've got to get myself working again. I know that, and I said from the start that come get my birthday out of the way in March, and I will start working again. I'm still attached to the agency because the agency haven't sent me my P45 or any of my paperwork or anything, so I'm still attached to them. So I can go back to them and say, look, get me work. I can't guarantee that I'm going to be working there for the rest of my life or anything, because like I've said before, my parents are looking at moving. Things have been put on hold now, obviously, while my nan's ill. But the whole plan is to do some temp work for a little while, see how things go, get some money behind me, some extra funds behind me, and just get back into the working life again. I'm still going to say to them I can't work Mondays because that's my day. Mondays is my day, so you may see a few less videos. I'm going to try and carry on painting in between work. So I'm really quite enjoying doing my Death Guard videos. I want to start doing a few other things as well. People have suggested that I do videos on how to paint and stuff, and I don't think I'm good enough to actually step in and do that, because there's much better painters out there than me, and there's so much of it on the internet now that I think it's a bit of an area I don't need to go into. I mean, but saying that, I mean, I'm going to do an unboxing video on the Death Guard when they turn up, because I noticed that it's weird that unboxing videos seem to get a lot of views, so why not? Just, yeah, I'll do that. I'm definitely going to be doing a video around the Horus Heresy weekend. I'm just a bit worried about how much data my camera can hold. And I could take my laptop with me, but I don't really want to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to record as much as I can. If I have to, see, I could buy another memory card, but again, it's all money. To be fair, a memory card doesn't really cost much, so I might do that. But we'll see. I mean, it's a week today that I'll go, so this time next week I'll be at Warhammer World. Because we're stopping off in Nottingham first and then going on to East Midlands. We'll see. I might buy a new memory card. But saying that memory card's got quite a big, this memory card in the camera, it's got quite a big storage capacity on it, so I might be okay for the weekend. We'll see. So what I'll probably do is I will reformat the memory card, because I've been finding that even when I purge it, I clear out the memory, it seems to still have space used up on it. So if I reformat the memory card, it totally purges it. So I'm going to do that probably after I've done my video next week, which I know I've been doing them on Fridays of late. I might do it Thursday next week. So you might get a lot of videos out of me in the next week or so. But that's fine. Not that I post a lot of videos normally anyway, but you know. Right, so I've just got these last 3 backpacks to paint silver bits on. And I think I've still got some of the heavy bolter guide to do. Then I'm going to jump onto shading. So I've been watching bits and pieces of YouTube videos. It's kind of difficult to do because for some reason my laptop doesn't actually want to play YouTube videos very well at the moment. They stutter and they it's my Wi-Fi access, I know that. So I kind of watch smaller videos like before I go to bed and stuff. Normally I have videos on when I'm painting, but I haven't of late. But one of the things that I watched was Mini Wargamer J. He posted up a video about what do you think about the coloured plastic models from Games Workshop, and he just wanted to like start discussion on it, which is a good idea. put a topic up, and it's start a discussion. Is pretty cool. So I'm going to pinch his idea and do a little bit of a discussion for myself. So mine is, what's your opinion on stripping models? Mainly because one of my most viewed YouTube video is the video where I use my ultrasonic cleaner to strip some models. Now, I know a lot of people say that you shouldn't strip your old paint jobs because you can see progress on how you used to paint to how you do paint now, and stuff like that. But when you have as many miniatures as I do, keeping some of the badly painted ones badly painted is kind of pointless. Like, there's the two that I posted on my Instagram page, the 2 Hero Quest models I posted quite a while ago now. That were my first 2 painted models. They were a mummy and a zombie, I believe. I've never painted over them. They will stay as they are. They're not going to be framed or anything like that. They're not going to be put in pride of place or anything. But I know where they are. They will stay as they are. But, for example, the back when me and my friends were really into the original Warhammer Quest, not Silver Tower, not Shadows over Hammerhall, the original just roleplay game Warhammer Quest. We went through and we collected the whole tier 1 monster set. If you don't know Warhammer Quest, basically it had a D66 table when you had encounters, and you had to roll on there. And to get a D66 you roll 1d6 and that's 10s, you roll another d6 and that's units. And basically it was deciding on what monsters turned up. Now, having the level 1 table full was quite good. We'd never got all of it painted, but we got some of it painted. So for example, I've got some of the old Goblin bosses, and some of them are painted a bit, some aren't really painted at all. I didn't paint all of them. Some of my friends painted them and stuff like that, and these are people that I don't even have any contact with anymore. Like, I'm not Facebook friends with them, I don't talk to them, I don't see them. So I was like, well, I'm just going to strip them, because they're models that, for example, the Goblin range has just been redone, and some of them models look really cool. But then most of the old Goblin models look pretty cool as well. So it's made me want to paint them. So what I'm going to do is probably throw a few of them into the mix when I decide on my next batch to paint. But obviously they need stripping first. They've had paint on them for the best part of 15 years probably. So I just figured, you know what, why not? So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to strip some more models. I've got some models to strip for a friend coming next week anyway. Yeah, I just thought I'd ask your opinions on stripping models. I mean, I've been having a bit of a back and forth conversation with a guy on the ultrasonic cleaner video, and he shared it around a bit because he was considering getting an ultrasonic cleaner for himself, I believe. And I mean, look on Amazon. Amazon's really good. I mean, my ultrasonic cleaner's not huge. You can get much bigger ones, so you could put full tanks in it. And I'm considering upgrading to something like that. It'll cost a fair bit. It's about £100. The little one that I got was 25. This is what I use in it. Methylated spirit. It's £5 a bottle, and it does you for quite a while. Like for example, that bottle there is a brand new bottle. It'll get through all the space rules I've got coming. Probably half my goblins. It'll do the bikes, the orc bikers, which I'll still do for a friend. Probably won't touch them Battlefleet Gothic stuff though, because I don't know what they're painted with. But yeah, so I'll get stuck into them. So next week, hopefully, it won't take me too long. I'll just get stuck in and get them done. I'll have a paint stripping day where I'll just paint strip models. Right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to grab my Sandry Dust, which I can't grab because I've finished. So, going back, let's shade this silver. My Sandry Dust, I've got some spare, but it's in there, and I'll have to stop the video and get that box out. And to be honest, I just want to get stuff painted so I can jump on and just do the shading on the silver. Right, so I'm going to leave that heavy barter guy till last. And I know there's not a lot of silver on some of these guys, but it still needs shading. Right, so let's bring those backpacks and go there. Yeah, I should have remembered that, because last night I actually finished the Sandry Dust up, and it's been getting to the stage where I'm basically dragging the last bits out the bottom of the tub, and you don't really, when you are watering down your paints as much as I do, you don't really want to use the very last bits in the bottom of the pot, because to be honest, they're not going to be, you'll probably have to use 3 or 4 coats of it. Be really thin. So I just decided, right, the pot's done, and get a new one out, and then forgot to get a new one out, so I will have to do that after I've finished painting today on this video, because I've got to paint the skulls. Lots of skulls on Space Marines. Now I have thought about what I was saying about painting goblins. I've thought about what I want to paint next after I finish these guys, after I've got my Death Guard up to where it should be, and I thought about jumping straight onto the 30k Blood Angels, which would be great. I should really get World Eaters finished first though. I've still got so many of them to finish. But I might just leave Power Armor Marines for a little while. I mean, I've been painting a lot of Space Marines of late. I mean, I know this month these will be 18 Blood Angels. No, it won't. It will be 14 Blood Angels I would have painted this month. And that doesn't sound a lot, but when you consider that Death Guard have got power armor as well, and power armor generally I paint the same way, even if it is different colours. It's base, shade, then layers, and then edged highlights. painting some models with some flesh will be quite nice for a little while. So I'm going to paint a few other things. Like I said, I'm going to paint goblins, because I can't see them goblins being too hard to do. I might paint some Blackstone Fortress stuff, because that seems to have really been forgotten about. Blackstone Fortress at the club, and I want to play it. Like all of the Warhammer Quest games, like I've played 1 or 2 missions, never played it all the way through, and I really want to play games all the way through now. It's just having people to do it. I mean, with the Blood Bowl League starting at the club a week on Monday, I mean, I think we can still get Blackstone Fortress played. So, and I think people will enjoy it. Really do. But again, I want to get the old Warhammer Quest played at the club. I mean, because you don't have to play it so that it's the same 4 people every time, or 5 people because you have a GM, I think. What you can do is you can set up a group of people, so say 8, with a character each, and whichever ones are available at the time, they all jump in and do a quest together. So you don't have to have a dedicated group of people playing it. It'll just be a bit of a laugh, I think. I mean, playing Space Crusade will be good next week. I haven't played Space Crusade in probably 20 years, maybe more. The game is coming up to 30 years old. I mean, I think it's 30 years old in 2021. I think it came out in 1991. I'm not 100% sure. I know Hero Quest come out in 1989, so that's 30 years old this year, and I'm still painting bits and pieces of them. So I could paint some more of them, but we'll see. Yeah, you never know, I might even get these Blood Angels finished today. I mean, it's not likely, because they've got a fair bit of needs doing on them, but what I always tend to do with my models is get them to the stage where they're very nearly done, and then down tools, go bed. So hopefully I'll do that this week, today. Might get these to the stage where they get textured paint on the bases, and basically because the texture paint takes a while to dry, I tend to leave it overnight, and next morning all you got to do is dry brush the base, paint the rim of the base, and you're done. And it's that quick to finish models the next day. I mean, I know some people like to get models fully painted in one sitting and stuff. I never do. Well, I'm not saying I never do. I can't remember ever doing that. Just sitting there and paint a model till it's finished. Mainly because I work in groups. As you can see, I've got 9 Marines on my table. So that's them 3 done. But again, it's you find what works for you. You know, you don't have to paint to how everyone else says you should paint. If you like dry brushing and you want to dry brush everything, go for it. There's nothing stopping you. I mean, I can remember years and years ago, this is back when I wasn't painting regularly. I was mostly a painter back then, and I was actually staying in Wales for a while. I was working for a friend of the family, and it was my friend's dad I was working for. He's got his own business down there, and my friend's uncle come up to see him for a little while, and I had the old metal whirlwind back then, the plastic tank with a metal rocket launcher on it, and he was always saying that you can't have that painted as Blood Angels. It shows Ultramarines on the box and stuff like that. And I'm like, well, totally you can. Paint them as you like. Blood Angels can have whirlwinds. Why not? He said, no, because look, it shows on the box that it's blue. It's Ultramarine. I said, yeah, but you don't have to paint it Ultramarine. He would not have it that you could paint it Blood Angels. So yeah, that's the moral of the story is you paint what you want. I mean, you've seen my Necrons. Most Necrons are painted metal with a trim. Mine are painted bone colour with turquoise, like the standout mile. And I've had people look at them weird, and people like them. So I'm perfectly happy with how they look. Yes, they're a pain to paint. Like, they're a stupid pain to paint. But at the end of the day, I like how they look. So yeah. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to finish shading this heavy bolter guy. And then I think I'm going to call it there. Again, I'll do a little outro thing, because I don't normally do that, but someone suggested it might be an idea. I'm still learning this YouTube thing. I mean, I would like to be able to post. I see people post like little links to other videos and other YouTube users in like the little posts that come up above the on the video. I have no idea how to do that. It's something that I might look into, but to be honest, I'm not really that bothered. If I had a group of people who were doing the same thing as I'm doing, were local, were YouTubers, and like we mucked in and we helped each other, then I would look into it more, because I'd post links to their pages and stuff like that. But to be honest, there isn't anyone at the club who does YouTube videos. That I'm wrong. There are a few associated with the club who do, but they're not local as far as I know. They're some distance away. So yeah, it's it is what it is. So this guy is now shaded, as you can see from the dark bits on his bolter. Zoom, yeah. I think I've caught it all. No, I haven't. It's the underside of the thing hasn't been caught. Okay. I think that's about done it. Bloody done it. Yeah, so I'm going to call the video there today. And I've got some painting done. It's all good. I mean, I know it's not a lot, but it sets me off for the day. I mean, I've been sitting here for the past hour, rocking about on my iPad and trying to force myself to actually get painting. And now I have, and I can carry on. Alright, so that's me done for today, my own video. Like I said, I'll try and post it up earlier next week, because Friday I'm away, and you'll get a Horus Heresy weekend video probably Tuesday, probably at the same time as my Death Guard video, but who knows. I'm also thinking, this is my wall, it's really quite bland. I found a load of old Games Workshop posters, so like the Predator cutaway poster, the Land Raider one, and a few others. I'm thinking about just decorating the wall, because it's just this wallpaper I put up when I was 21, and I'm 37 now, so it's time to go. So I may decorate this corner. This will be my creative corner with stuff, but that's something for me to think about another time. Thank you very much if you've listened to my video this week. I will see you next week. Bye bye.